Just out walking with a friend of mine. He's like, I don't know, 23, 22, something like that. He was having problems with his girlfriend. They live together, I guess. And I don't know, he's having those things where, I'm having those things where I have to let tourists do all their stuff before I can use the sidewalk. He tries to second guess them sometimes, but you can't. So he's going on about just the problems you have, and I'm trying to explain to him that you know, that men and women have different brains. You know, completely. Like the things that matter to you, she's not even thinking about. I think younger people have been brought up in this world, and I'm not saying he has, but you know, a lot of them have, with this like bizarre idea that they're exactly the same. It's like, no, you're not the same at all. You have completely different brains. You know, you think of different things. People aren't all the same. People are very different. And when you try to, and that goes for everything. It goes for just not the sexes, but races. There's this idea that everyone is the same. We're all just, it's like, no. It's not true. That's a lie. But that's why they have to push it so hard all the time, because it's not natural. Everything tells you that's not true. So, you know, I'm just like, you have to just figure out where your personal threshold is, because it doesn't matter how many times you tell her this, or, you know, she doesn't put this away. Like just regular, you know, kind of household. So the kind of problems I have with my girl too, you know. And but I understand that she has a different brain, and the things that matter to her, I don't even think about, and vice versa. You know, that's why a lot of girls like each other to tell them things like about relationship stuff. Like when, you know, a lot of guys end up cheating on girls, and you know, I've had female friends that had that happen. They get upset, or my wife would tell me a story about, oh, and he cheated on her, and I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't care about that girl he cheated on. But it's just because he hooked up with her doesn't mean he's not still into your friend. You know, that's just how guys think. It's how it is. I mean, I don't know, whatever your morality judgment on that is one thing, but when they say to their significant other or their girlfriend or whatever, like, oh, she doesn't mean anything. She really doesn't. In most cases, I mean, I'm not saying this is out of circumstances differ, of course, between people, but in circumstances, I guess. But for the most part, that seems to be what it is. But it's different in our brains than it is in theirs, and he was just kind of freaking out about that. And he's very animatedly talking about how he wants to murder her. Not for real. And there's some tourists around us, like, listening to it. And the guys start laughing. His wife's, like, covering her ears. Like, mock covering her ears. Pretty funny stuff. But yeah, that's every relationship. It's like, and he's saying, you know, I'm happier alone. And, you know, I've been there, you know, in a long time, being alone. You know, not in an incel situation, just, well, I guess it was, because the ones that I thought I could hang with, weren't available, and the ones that were available aren't ones I could deal with. You know, that went on for a while, but I've been with my girl now 15 years, so, but the thing is, there's a lot of good things, a lot of things you can enjoy about being alone. But the things that you benefit from having a partner are way better and way more important and outpace those little joys that you have when you're solo. Do we try to make it up here? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna go to the beach here. But whatever. Just an interesting aside. Interesting to me, I guess. So I'm looking at all these, not all these, all these. There are these couple accounts I follow on YouTube now. And what they do is they're mainly critique channels about critiquing truth people. Or I guess people on the tertiary of whatever it is I do. I don't really feel like a truth type person, although we do touch upon some of that stuff here. I concern myself more with metaphysical concepts, mainly stuff you can't see. So it makes it the situation is more theoretical. I mean, it's more about theories and hey, I think maybe this. Or, I'm not about exposing politicians or Tartarian concepts or anything. I think some of this stuff's interesting, and I talk about it from time to time, but I don't really know much about some of the stuff that truth channels, people that would fall into that genre, know about. But there's like three of them. There's three different guys, and all of them kind of have a thing where they my articulation just sucks today. What the fuck? I am not on at all. But we're gonna power through this. We're gonna get something out of it. You and me. But I noticed some of the guys they critique or point out things about where they'll show like ties to perhaps intelligence agencies with these users. Some of these guys are people that I watched for a while, and I've like suggested here people like John Levy. They'll point out a bunch of stuff. They pointed out a bunch of stuff about him, and it's like, wow, I guess I'm not nearly as perceptive as some of these guys. Well, I'm not, obviously. They just point out stuff that I never really thought to look at or never noticed, But I've suggested people go to him before too, and there's probably a lot of channels here I've suggested. I probably stopped doing that. But the thing is, even the shilliest of these Shill channels, I mean, there is some truth in there. There has to be. And I've described why that is. It's not that they feel obligated to feed you any truth or anything. It's just that for you to believe anything they're saying, even the stuff they want you to believe that isn't true, they need to feed you that truth because they have to send out a frequency. Truth and bullshit each have their own frequency. Lies have a frequency, truth has a frequency. If they're just talking shit all the time, you're gonna know on some level you're gonna be like, this guy's full of shit. So by peppering in truth, the healing stones, or what they're trying to make them the transgender stones. We've talked about that nonsense before, but I'm not out here to make myself angry. They have to weave in truth with that stuff. And you probably heard people say that before, where they mix the truth in with lies, and you might think like, well, why? Why do they do that? Why would they do that? Well, they do that because there's an unknown piece of you, which is even unknown to me. There's something in us that allows us to be perceptive of the frequency that the words are on. So if they're just lying to you all the time, you don't know why, but you're going to be turned off from them, and you're going to be thinking, this guy's full of shit. You won't know why, but it'll be something you sense. There are a bunch of little senses that we have that are shut off, or that are grandfathered, or that have a governor on, where we're not able to use it anymore. I've done stuff talking about that, how there's one that feels like it's a sneeze or a yawn, it's about to happen, your body, something physical begins to happen, then it stops. It's almost like a thing, a sense or a action that was disabled in us. In the same way, there was a way for us to be more perceptive and understanding of frequency. And I believe it was much more potent and much easier to to deal with and understand, almost like a smell or some kind of tactile kind of experience. And that as well has been turned off, but it was so strong because that's the core of what we are, that they couldn't erase it completely. So you still have a little bit of that. So for them to get across the BS, they have to put truth in there because it confuses the frequency. And then sometimes some of the BS they're saying, when they mix it with truth frequency, it blurs. So you'll start to hear the stuff they're lying about and be mistaken into thinking that that's the truth too. It's very weaponized. I mean, the people that, there's people that understand how we work way, way better than even people on like the cutting edge on this end, on this side, on the humanistic side of the research are on. And I mentioned that before, that they're so far ahead of us, but we're closing the gap because of their failing technology, the disintegrating veil. It's making it so that we're catching up to them quick. We don't have terminology because it's still so new. A lot of these ideas, these concepts. I mean, there's only one race, the human race. That's the problem right there. He means well. What he's saying, he means well. It sounds good, doesn't it? When someone says it, like, oh, we're all one race, the human race. It's like, yeah, that's right. That's good. We're all the same. And we are a lot more alike than the people that are opposing us, of course. But we're all very different. We're all very different. And then when you put people together with the idea that, well, we're all the same, resentment grows. It causes conflict because you're like, why is this person like that? We're all the same. Aren't we all the same? Why does he act this way? You know, why some cultural thing. Like, why is he allowing his daughter to become a mother at 15 or something like that, just for an example. We're all the same. No, we're not all the same. What it does is those kind of things are what causes problems. You know, like I was saying when I started this off, we're not all the same, we're very different. And when you're constantly told you're all the same, when you have a problem, you think that there's a problem with you. Or you think there's a problem with the person you're in conflict with. Because in your mind, like, we're all the same. Why is he doing this? Or why am I feeling this way? I must be bad, or he must be bad. It's tough, but you can't explain that to people because what happens is, I mean, you sound like a dick. You know, because like, no, that's a good thing. It sounds like a good thing. Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? Do I not know what day it is? I think I don't. Let me think about this. Oh, it's Saturday night. Oh, okay. So we're doing, this is like a schizo patrol then. Okay. I did not know that. Yeah, okay. We look for demons. It's been slim pickings lately though. Slim Whitman. Wilson Pickett. Illuminati confirmed. Yeah, I haven't really run into much. Didn't we get one recently? Oh yeah, we got a guy over there in front of the old Macy's. It's going to be Target now. I talked to him. I didn't put him on camera though. I did, you know, you heard him. Another lady in front of the store. It's the same situation though. It's the same old situation. SOS. Illuminati. No, I'll hear it, and I know what it is, and I head over to it, and I'll see them in the distance acting funky, with the raging going on, and then I get to them, and it's like a switch is flipped. They just act normal. Either I'm the worst exorcist, or I'm the best. I'm either on one side of the bell curve or the other, so I guess that's fine. As long as I'm not sitting in the middle. Yeah, I'm either bad because I can't make contact with them at all, even when I'm in their presence, or I'm awesome because they see me walking over and they take off. It's either one of those. Pretty packed. Usually, like right after the new year too, it kind of gets quiet. You know, people come off vacation and stuff. But this is actually pretty happening tonight. Yeah. Kate Spade, Tory Burch, Harry Winston, the New Beatles, and Sephora. There's usually more security guards in these stores than actually customers. Like I've explained before, it's advertisement. These places, these companies are here just to be here. They don't really have to generate income, and in most cases, it's tax write-offs. Like, and that's why it's hard for like local vendors to compete, because they actually have to make money. They need to generate sales to pay their rent. A lot of these places, Louis Vuitton or whatever, they're write-offs. What they are is the advertisements to be on the street, because like this is like the happening kind of street, so they want to be there. They want to have a presence there for tourism and stuff. So that's what they do. They don't care if they make money. They're an advertisement, basically. So when you have that context, people start to understand, you know, why these places don't have to close their doors like, you know, all the other local stores or, you know, family-owned places from the same area. They don't have to close their doors. You know, these places like Victoria's Secrets or whatever, they just rode through all the close downs of the pandemic because they have the money. But a lot of the businesses that rely on, you know, generating an income one month to next to be able to pay the exorbitant rent cost here, they do have to generate money. So when you shut them all down for a long time, unless they have a lot of reserves there, they're kind of screwed. And if they close down, they don't care. Just another corporate place will go in there. In fact, they probably have people waiting to go into some slots. What it does is it's almost it's the retail version of the widening valley between the foot washers and the foot washees. You know, the people that have and the people that have nothing, you know. It's what, like when I came here, it was such like a cognitive dissonance type of situation to see all these high-end stores and stuff, and then a ton of homeless people sleeping out in front of them. But they've cleaned up this area as far as the homeless goes, because they know it's bad for tourism, it's bad for business, so they make sure they keep an eye on this place. And it's not nearly as crazy as it was. I've had some commenters tell me they moved into different parts of the island. I guess there are a lot of them up in the North Shore now. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do up there, because, I mean, there's not much up there as far as services, or I guess there's people to panhandle to, but, you know, to get any of the stuff done that they need to get done as far as any of the services, they have to come back down to downtown, which it's just a bus ride, but still, you know, a lot of those people are afraid to get on a bus. I was watching this homeless video with this couple that were homeless, and the guy was going on about how you know, everyone thinks homeless people are drug addicts, and you know, those people, they don't know what they're talking about. It's like, dude, no, you don't know what you're talking about. He's been on the streets for a year, and he doesn't do drugs, and it's good for him. But that's not the majority of the situation out there. It's still a lot of drug use. And if you didn't have mental health problems before, you spend 6 months out here, add drugs to it, and you're going to have what appears to be mental health problems. You know? There's no escaping that. And you decline really quick. Like I've seen new guys show up, like younger guys especially, you can see this in. And you know, they look young. You'll see them around for a while, and then they'll kind of vanish. And then you'll see them downtown, like they'll migrate down there. And they look like old men. It's a very, very harsh living situation. And I'm so lucky, like I'm so blessed that I have the people in my life that I can work with to help me maintain a lifestyle that's comfortable. Left to my own devices, I could be out here very easily, the same way. And once you get out here, no matter how hard you try to keep it together, it's very tough. It's very tough to maintain. You know, I've seen it happen. I've just seen people just spiral into nothing. It's sad, and there is no answer. We're not going to solve that either tonight, but I'm trying to keep things a bit shorter, so I might shut this down and pick it up on the way back. Finish the like a 2-part schizo patrol. Doesn't seem to be much going on, and I think we've settled a lot of science already. So maybe I'll see you in a bit. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.